Okay, so kind of a cool story. In 2007, Gibson did this kind of cool experiment called the Gibson Guitar of the Week series, where every week Gibson issued an instrument that was generally pretty unique. Quite a few reissues, and they were limited to like 400 pieces. If you're interested in more backstory and what was put out, check the description below for, for a link to a video that Trogly did discussing each of the models. So the very last week, week 48, was a reissue of the Gibson RD Standard in Silverburst. Now, it wasn't a true 25 1/3, which is more of a Fender scale length. Instead, it's a 24 3/4, like a Les Paul. They sold for like $1,200 from Musician's Friend, and they came with a case. So I'm like, hey, sold. Finally, I'm able to pick one of these up. When I got it, it came with these absolutely horrendous 30 Fingers pickups that were like super shrill and like a lot of highs to them, and it feedback like crazy through my 800. So I was like, okay, I gotta get rid of these. I ended up buying a set of 57 Classics, and my friend JP Soares ended up installing them for me. That guitar was my #1 for a little over, I want to say like 3 years or so. It was great. I just absolutely loved that instrument until I had an on-the-job accident and I got a slip disc. It made it super difficult for me to play basically my Gibson guitars, especially the RD. So after a year not being able to play my RD, I begrudgingly sold it and switched entirely to Paul Reed Smith McCarty hollow body guitars, which are awesome, by the way. If you've taken a look at my Cup of Tea with Mr. P episode 1, you'll know that that is like my #1 writing guitar. It's just absolutely killer. However, a year ago, I had a procedure done, and within a few months, I was able to lift heavy things again. And that meant I could play weightier instruments again, too. All right. So I got rid of a PRS and picked up a Gibson Mod Shop RD reissue, which I loved so much that I ended up using it to record my band Scattered Light's latest release, Alive in the Gardens. You can check that out in the link below as well. So a few weeks ago, a buddy of mine called me up and was like, hey, I found your guitar. I'm like, what do you mean? I don't have anything that's stolen. And he's like, no, I mean, I found your RD. Well, how do you know it's mine? Just take a look. So I called, couldn't get a hold of anyone, so used the chat, talked to them for a little bit. I gave a call, lo and behold, all my questions checked out. So I had them put the guitar on hold for me, paid for it, and now it's here. And I can't be more ecstatic about this. So let's go ahead and get to the unboxing. Purple scissors in hand. Let's see. Move this over a little bit. All right, pop's open. I just remembered I actually did an unboxing video for the mentioned Gibson Mod Shop RD, and for whatever reason, I don't know why I have the videos, but I never posted them, so I should probably get to that, huh? Let's see. My receipt. My cat will enjoy that. Actually, he's really going to enjoy all this like bubble wrap here, huh? Gibson guitars and cases. Heavy. All right, let me go ahead and switch angles here. Okay, so let's go ahead and uncase this. Oh, that's funny. Still has the little insert tag in there from you pull out when you want to set a combination. And here we go. Got a little bag of stuff here. There's my name. Let me pull this out. Looks like there's a sticker, a pick, a little certificate from them. Let's pull all this out. I'll have to put that switch tip on. It still has that chocolatey smell, or vanilla smell, I'm not quite sure, that Gibson cases tend to have. Let's take this out and flip it over. Really terrible at this. Neck is still pretty pristine. So, yeah, I know a lot of people really go nuts over these. I don't quite understand why. I think Adam Jones from Tool unfortunately made Silverburst guitars like a thing. I wish he didn't. Because it unfortunately, not just because of the fact there were only 400 of these, but it made them pretty rare and unfortunately drove the price up astronomically. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in a little bit and you guys can hear it. And there we go, folks. Back in my possession is my original 2007 Gibson Guitar of the Week Silverburst RD reissue. Final thoughts? I have to say it's super cool to have this guitar back, to be honest. Do I think it sounds as good as my Mod Shop RD Artist? No, but they are two very different animals for sure. And this guitar has a vibe all its own that feels like home pretty much right away when I start to play it. Plus, there is the sentimental value of the fact that some of the riffs that I just played ended up as songs that would end up on my band Scattered Lights discs, The Grieving and Alive in the Gardens, that we just put out a few months ago. So it has, like, you know, that whole sentimentality going for it for sure. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button below. Thanks for sharing this moment with me. I'm Mr. P, and I'll be seeing you soon.